We've all been there. It's 2 a.m., you just finished the last page of your book, closed the cover, and now you're wrecked. Or elated, shocked, frustrated, distraught, or maybe a combination of so many emotions you can't put a name to what you're feeling.
But there's an ache in your chest, and all you want to do is turn to someone who knows what you just went through, who you can talk about that favorite scene with, swap theories about the sequel, gush over the hottie your main character landed.
You might try to explain it to your significant other, suggest the book to a colleague, or swap a couple surface-level thoughts with a friend who read it years ago. But there's no one who truly gets it. No one who will tear each moment apart with you, put it all back together, and start the next great read by your side. But what if we told you that now there's someone who will?
I'm Brooke.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Elena.
And we're the High Ladies of the Book Court. Let's read your next favorite book together.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are discussing Queen of Shadows, chapters 1 through 22. If you have not read The Assassin's Blade, which is a set of short stories or novellas that take place before Throne of Glass, stop now. There will be spoilers. Also,
Yes.
Assassin's Blade is pretty great, so you don't want to miss it anyway.
Super great. And we did episodes on it. So,
We
go read that book.
Go read it and then check it.
Then do our also just go back. You missed stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I want to ask first, and without spoilers, on the characters that we met in the Assassin's Blade. How do you guys feel going back in time, so to speak, in the Assassin's Blade and then reading Queen of Shadows?
I thought this was perfect. I thought the order we did it in was perfect. And I'll never be able to go back and read Assassin's Blade first. But I think that going from Heir of Fire to Assassin's Blade and then to Queen of Shadows, to me, seemed like a very good progression because there are a lot of homages and we're just going back to Assassin's Blade a lot in Queen of Shadows. So I'm glad that we just read it instead of having read it 4 books ago.
Yeah. Covered in the Assassin's Blade episode, I wasn't super excited to take a break and go backwards. But I completely agree. It makes sense. There are so many themes and just flashbacks that are making reference to the Assassin's Blade, and it just helps you dislike characters in Queen of Shadows even more.
Yeah. And
I
then
agree.
I think it gives you a better appreciation for what's going on in Queen of Shadows. I'd be really interested to hear from anyone who read Assassin's Blade first to see what your thoughts were. Did you forget stuff in Assassin's Blade? The little bits that we're already seeing coming back in Queen of Shadows? I don't know. I'll never be able to do it that way unless we wait 3 years and do it again. But
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I could do the Assassin's Blade first. Because reading it after or before Queen of Shadows, there's just so many references and moments that just makes it a lot more meaningful.
yeah, I agree.
Are you guys ready to get into Queen of Shadows?
So ready. Let's spoil everything. Let's go.
All right, so
No thoughts this episode.
I have only a few thoughts this episode.
All right, so first question. After 2 years, Aelin confronts Arobin. We also learn of the aftermath of Sam's death in Rifthold, in which Wesley kills Farron to avenge Sam, and then Arobin kills Wesley to mend the alliance between Assassin's Guild and the new crime lord, which Selena killed that guy. What was going through your mind during this scene between Aelin and Arobin, and what would you like to see happen next? Is that a loaded question?
Elena, what did you think?
To die. Is that too much to ask for.
Not at all.
Um, and I already liked Wesley, and it just makes you like Wesley even more and sad. It's also really sad because we're through chapter 22, and Brooke had me convinced that Sam wasn't dead, but so far it seems that he's pretty dead. No, it's too late. No, I don't think so.
I'm just saying, I'm not convinced yet that he is dead.
Where else
Yeah.
would he be? If he was like secretly helping Arabin, I think we would have seen him by now. I half wanted when she like approached him when he was at the booth in whatever it's called, and he was seated across from someone, and she's like, I recognize him. I was like, please have it be Sam. And then it was Kale, and I was like, ew.
Yeah, Kale's always a big thumbs down in all
Yeah, it's done.
situations. Kale. Yeah, no, I definitely want Arabin to be dead as well, Elena. I think that was the overall feeling. And just like the overall sense that I got that like Arabin is just lying. Like everything that he's saying, like none of it can be 100% true. So I'm still questioning what actually happened with Wesley and Farron and everyone and how that actually went down. I don't know if we have the full story. And it was really sad to learn that like Wesley and Lysandra had feelings for each other and now he's like likely pretty dead. So and I say likely as a
But
joke.
there's no body. Is he dead?
I think because he's not a super integral character, we can just assume that he's dead and not gonna pull like a just kidding, I'm alive. But yeah, I mean, it made me really nervous. Like, I did not anticipate the book starting off with Aelin joining forces, or like at that point considering joining forces with Arabin, even to get Adian back. I didn't see that happening, so I got very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I know that she has more knowledge now, and so I don't like she's not going to get taken advantage of like she did in Assassin's Blade, but Arabin is still very good at what he does
Yeah, he's
and
very
could backstab
manipulative.
her. Yeah, so I'm
He's
just worried.
like, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, he's like playing games and testing her constantly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would you guys be upset if he didn't die in this book?
as long as he dies eventually.
That's fair.
I mean, to be fair, every second he's not dead, I'm upset. So I guess the answer is yes. I'm just going to keep
That is
being
also an
upset
answer.
until he's dead.
Um, yeah, I had few thoughts that now I can't think of, but I don't know if it's jumping ahead. Because one, I was like convinced he was gonna betray her, like when they went to save Adian. So it's kind of surprising that he didn't really. Suppose, like at least as far as we know.
He
Wait,
kind of,
the
he
Kale
kind
thing
of,
was fine,
but he kind of did though.
but she still got Adian out.
But Arabin still was the key player in making that happen. You have to remember.
Hot. Like I really thought there was like a 50% chance Aelin ended up in the King's Dungeon after that.
Mm.
There
Just
was a part of me that wondered.
yeah. And then the second part is like what? Like she has a secret plan we don't know about. Like she makes it real clear she has a plan to deal with everyone that was involved in Sam's death when she comes back. And somehow working with Arabin now leads to that. Like there's no way she's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to work with Arabin. We're going to be buds again." Like that's not on her agenda. Her agenda is very much him dying at some point. And I just am waiting for that to come in.
She also
Yeah.
needs the amulet that he took from her when she was what was it, like 10 years ago or something.
Um, yeah, Elena, to what you just said, I loved the scene where she's talking to the dance mistress, whose name I am forgetting because there's so many names.
Something with an F.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I forget what her name is, but I loved when she had that little scene with the dance mistress before they snuck her into the castle, where the dance mistress is like, I had nothing to do with what happened a couple years back, right? And Aelin just thinks of how she wrote that list of all the people she's going to murder and that she took her off of it. And she's like, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. And I'm just like, oh, I love her so much.
Yeah, and also really cute the scene where she was like, when you set up your court, I will be there and I will like lead the music and the dancing and the arts. And I was
Love
like,
that.
love that already.
Yeah. Yeah, that little moment that they had remembering the whole orchestra that got killed after they played that rebellion song.
I
I was
still
like,
remember
yep,
that. I still remember that.
that was a
Like,
hard scene.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love that she's working with Arabin, but I think that it was probably a necessary step in order to get to where she needs to get to.
I
I
think
feel
she's going in with like a clear mind too. Like she's
Yeah.
like learned her lesson. She's gonna take what she's learned because every single moment, like in that first scene that they were talking, she's like always questioning like his motives. Like, is he being really truthful or is he just is this a test? This is a game?
Yeah.
I feel like we have enough trust in her now to know that her end game is not to work with Arabin. Although
Yeah.
I am really sus of what he wants to do with one of the Valen. Like, what could possibly be his
Yeah. She's so different from like the Selena now versus the Selena in the Assassin's Blade, who was like naive and like still trust Arobin.
She's come a long way, and I totally trust her. I don't think it's going to be I don't think she's going to be able to pull it off without any issue. Like there's still going to be something up Arabin's sleeve that we're not going to see and she's not going to see.
It's
But
gonna be Sam's
I,
alive body. That better be the thing we don't see coming.
yeah,
But either
I
way, we
still
still want him dead.
I still think he's alive.
Sorry, I meant Arobin. Just to be clear.
I also think Arabin is still alive. Bummer.
All right, you guys ready for the next question?
Ready.
This is this one. The last time we see Kael and Selena is at the end of Crown of Midnight. What were your thoughts during that scene? And what were your feelings towards the couple in Airfire? And when they finally reunite in Queen of Shadows, was it everything you hoped for?
So I would like to say I'm a very different person from the person that read the end of Heir of Fire to now. So at the end of Heir of Fire, I definitely wanted them to at least like try to get back together because to me it seemed like there wasn't a good enough reason that they were ending their relationship and that they could work on it to make it work.
Do you mean like at the
Obviously.
end of Crown of Midnight?
Yes, sorry. At the
Yeah,
end
okay.
of Crown of Midnight.
I'm like,
Yes.
in Airfire, she was all up and Rowan, so it's like,
Yeah.
where'd
The
she
end
go?
of Heir of Fire, she was getting on a different boat back
Yeah.
to there are a lot of boats and leaving people that we think we love. But yes, I was worried. I wasn't really worried that anything was going to happen with Kaal and Aelin. I thought at most there would be like some sort of awkward, like we don't have feelings for each other, right? Like maybe like a little awkward. I loved how it actually happened because Kaal just went full like lawful evil, and I was like, "This is the man I hate." Thank you.
You like
I
What?
hated what happened.
Why?
I don't want her and Kale together, but I don't want Kale to be lawful evil. Why can't he be like lawful neutral or whatever it is? Like I don't. No,
He
he's terrible to her in this book.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's so absolutely awful. He's like, you're a terrible monster person. Like he's so bigoted and gross. And
Yeah.
I hate it.
No, it's great. It's the best outcome. It's the best outcome. There's no wiggle room in there for Aelin to be like, wait, maybe should we? It's like, oh no, he's actually really gross and I hate him.
Oh,
It's like very
okay.
cut
I
and
see where
dry.
you're going with this.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
want it so like there's no absolute chance that they could get back
Yeah,
together.
there is no question.
I just want them to be friends.
Clear.
Like, why can't they just have, like, a friendship where Kale's like, "I respect you as a person."
Oh,
Like, we don't have to be
like her
together.
and Dorian, where they respect each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that's ever gonna happen between Dorian and Aelin, but they're still friends.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, that
No.
ship has sailed in many ways. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that this is where Chaol was always going toward. Like, all right, maybe not in like the first two books. Like, I genuinely thought that he was an okay piece of white Wonder Bread. But he's now like a super moldy on the inside, like might be diseased piece of white Wonder Bread. And I think that's who he is.
About to just Kale for a second.
I'll listen.
So unhappy with him. Think he's making bad decisions. I do see his stance on please don't kill Dorian. Like, maybe do anything but kill Dorian, and like being upset with her and like seeing, like, questioning her motives and her as a person when she's like, I'm gonna kill this person that we're both really close friends with. I can see that perspective. Everything else where he thinks she's a monster just because she's an assassin, which he knew, and she has magic, which like he can accept in Dorian, and
Yeah.
she's the queen of Terrasen, which like that's just who she is. Like, she's not a different person, but like that very specific perspective, I'm like, I understand why in this moment you are mad that she's doing this.
Yes. I think that is the best role that Kale is playing right now. Is he's like the voice of maybe let's not immediately kill Dorian, which I do appreciate because if Dorian dies, I will have a very hard time with that, and I'm just trying not to think about it. I'm trying to think positively, but I do appreciate that coming from Kale. But on the other hand, like we know why Aelin feels the way that she does. We know that she waited that extra minute when she was fighting the Valg to see if Dorian's personality could come through and tell her that he was still in there, just like she waited to fire that arrow. I think that she doesn't want to kill him. She wants to see if he's in there, but like we know he still is to a very small degree, but she thinks he is definitely gone. So I understand why she should have killed him. Um, and like even when we get Dorian's like Valk perspective, he wishes that she'd killed him too. And it's like it's hard seeing all three of their dealings with this. And I hope that it ends up well, but I don't know.
I feel like right because we're getting all of their perspectives, but like Kale doesn't have confirmation that she waited that minute. All he knows is that like she was about to kill his friend. No one knows that Dorian didn't give like the sign that he was still in there, even though we know
Yeah.
he's still in there. And like,
No hint, no clue whatsoever that he's still in there.
yeah, like, and we know that like he still has some ability to like make decisions because he's like strategically not remembering her name so that he's not giving it away to the king. So he might not be able to do anything on the outside, but like on the inside, he's still doing things, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, so we have all these perspectives, but like, I think the other characters' perspectives on those actions still does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hard thing.
But yeah.
Yeah. When I
Also,
read it, oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, no, go for it, Jamie.
I was just gonna say when I read it, I was just like really disappointed in Kale. Like I liked him in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and then just kind of watch his narrow-minded thinking and kind of like putting all the blame on Aelin. It just like, who are you? Like, who are you? This isn't you, right?
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like Kael has just been raised in this like very nationalistic mindset of like Adarlan above all else and I serve the crown and everything that would threaten the crown is bad. So he's grown up thinking that, Aelin and Terrasen are evil and he just like can't break out of that. And it's definitely that like toxic side of nationalism, because then you get like Aelin on the other side that like wants to bring Terrasen back to its glory, and like we know that the only reason she's trying to kill the king of Adarlan is because he's awful. Like she's not trying to take down Adarlan. Like she'd be happy to put Dorian in his place, knowing he's a better ruler. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Kale's not like actually evil. I think that he could have a path where he realizes that he's stupid. But I don't know if it's going to happen before he maybe dies in this book, which I probably wouldn't be upset about.
We're not wishing active death on Kale like we are Arabin, but we wouldn't be upset if death
He
came.
died.
Yeah, if he just like accidentally died to save Dorian, I would be like, "Oh,
See that.
that was nice."
That was worth it. As long as we get Dorian.
That's a great trade. I would make that trade 10 times out of 10.
Do you
Um,
think he could ever be redeemed, or he could have like a redemption arc? Is
yeah,
that
and
before or after? Or is that maybe like before he gets killed off?
I I think he's kind of on that like I think he was really really bad at the beginning of this book, like when they first reunite. But like him telling Aelin how to bring magic back to Adarlan, and like even though he's mad about this Dorian thing, I think his conversation with the other new character whose name I can't remember, like
Nezrin.
Nezra, where she's like, "What are you gonna do if Dorian really can't come back?" And like I think that might start helping him think and check himself. So like between a few of those things, I think there's hope. I don't know, Brooke, if you have a similar.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I think that Nezrin is a great influence for Kale. I don't know yet if I like want them to be together. There's like we've got vibes there obviously because they like hooked up in the past, but I really liked that she was, she said to him, I agree with you that you're doing everything for the right reason, but on the other hand, there may be a day where we regret not letting her kill Dorian. And just like she is a much more realistic person. Like she can see things very, very clearly because she's not attached to Dorian as a person, whereas Kael and Aelin both are. So yeah, I think she will be a good presence for like grounding him in reality and hopefully pointing out to him that he's judging her for all the wrong reasons.
Good thoughts, guys. Good
Yeah,
thoughts. All right. We can move on to the next question.
let's do it.
Arobin sends Lysander to provide details on his plan on how to break Adian out of the castle, along with a warning of her own to Selena. In this chapter, we see a very different Lysander from where we saw her last in the Assassin's Blade. Do you think Lysander has truly changed? How do you feel about her now?
Absolutely. I trust her 100%, like 110%. I will say that live. 110%. I hope she doesn't backstab me. But yeah, I mean, hearing like we had kind of surmised that obviously to become a courtesan you have like a difficult past, but I think it was different to actually get details of what that was like for her, and to see that she really has changed, and she's a better person than the person that we met in Assassin's Blade. I totally trust her. She has no reason to lie to Aelin because I totally trust that she does not have any fealty to Arobin anymore. And I love their friendship. Like Aelin makes a comment about how she doesn't have Nehemia anymore and she doesn't really have like that partner, that friend
That
here in
girlfriend.
Adarlan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's got a hawk super far away somewhere, but like that's different because we know that they actually like love each other. And I think that it's really important for her to have that connection where she's got a friend again.
I feel like everything, even in the Assassin's Blade that we knew about Lysandra, was that she's not dumb. Like she is like very much like in control of her own thoughts, in control of her own actions, which is like part of why her and Aelin always butted heads. I feel like so she knows what Arobin's been doing. Like she knows that he killed Sam. Like that he was ready for Aelin to kill her. Um, so like there's no reason for her to defend him at this point. Also, just the scene with the girl who she saves, I feel like that's
Yes.
just in there to, like, reinforce that she's not a bad person.
Absolutely. Like she was so close to being free and she sacrificed her freedom to save, I think it's Evangeline? Um,
Evangeline.
so
Yeah.
that she doesn't have a life being a courtesan and suffer what she's gone through. Like there was I think a scene where they said that Lysandra tried to run away and she got beaten really bad. And so if Evangeline tried to do that, like the same thing would happen to her. And she didn't want her to go through that. So it's like you're stuck either way. But at least we could be together and protect each other. So sad. I will
Yeah.
say that because I didn't read I read Queen of Shadows before, did not read The Assassin's Blade. So reading this for the first time and then reading The Assassin's Blade, I'm like, who is this Lysandra? Why is she so different from what I read before? So that was really, really surprising. But it's good to have all that background because when they meet in Queen of Shadows, there was obviously this like rift between them. I just didn't know the details of it. But I'm glad it seems like they're friends now, her and Aelin.
Yeah, their friendship is even tested already when Lysandra realizes that she's been keeping the fact that she is the Queen of Terrasen from her, and they
Kale
have that moment. What was that, Elena?
because Kale's an idiot and it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, and I mean, Aelin explains, like, I was gonna tell you now, I just needed to save Adian. And they have like that moment where they're like, oh, this is weird. It's like their first friend fight, but then they like get over it immediately. She's like, no, this is good. Like, we're good. Which I appreciated. It was like the first time there was a fight in an SJM novel, and no one needed to like go to a cabin in the woods for 3 weeks, which was great. It's like, thank
Really
you.
great.
Thank you, adult women, for just getting over it.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so this next question, we did touch upon it earlier, but I didn't really get like a clear, like yes or no. So, after hearing the stories of individuals who wore the Val choker and what has happened with General Norick in Air of Fire, do you think they could be saved, as in Dorian and Keltane? And how do you feel reading the Dorian slash Val Prince chapters?
Elena?
I don't love it. Um, it makes me sad that when he's like, "Oh, he keeps encroaching more and more on me." I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations where, like, if the Val Prince has clearly taken over like most of him, but there's that little sliver that's still there. So as long as they can get to him before that's gone, there has to be a way. Like, what if you take off the collar? Like, can no one take off the collar? Like, is there no way to do that? Or if like Aelin gets the word key, like there has to be some way. Like, he wouldn't still be alive, and wouldn't still be getting his perspective if there wasn't a way to save him. Even if it makes Kale right, and I don't love that. Um, I think yes, he's gonna come back somehow. I don't know about
Mm, I
Cal.
hope.
I think Caltain's.
What about Keltane?
I don't know about Caltaine. I think she could go either way, but I think it would be cool if Manon is the one that somehow like helps Caltaine because like she's already interested in like why doesn't she react? What's up with that? That's kind of weird. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a way to save him. I just don't know what it is. Like, I haven't been able to figure out what like bit of magic they would be able to use to free him. But my wondering is if Aelin breaks the tower that's
Mhm.
keeping magic from being in the world, if that will free something in someone, be it like in Dorian or maybe in Chaol, which would be a great twist, that would be able to get Dorian out of there, or I guess get the Volley out of there since it's Dorian's body. But I also recognize as a writing style that giving us Dorian's super dark, depressing, I'm being trapped inside my own body point of view, and then killing him would also be really traumatizing to read. So I'm worried that that's where we're going. I'm hoping that it's going to be the happy ending, but I'm still worried that it's going to be Dorian saying like, you have to kill me.
Lena, you're shaking your head.
Don't want that. I don't want him to die, but I
Me
could
neither.
see a situation where he gets to surface for a little bit and is like, please murder me. Do it. And then it's gonna be Kale. It's gonna be like Kale through the heart.
I would be 100% good with Kale somehow sacrificing his life for Dorian. That would be the best
Oh,
way
no.
to end a redemption arc and also get him out of the book series.
Yeah. I agree. It would be 100% worth it. I disagree. I don't think it's gonna relate to the tower, like if he somehow gets out, because magic is free in. Oh my god, I'm so bad at names. But like in Air of Fire, there were still like the Valak Princes where magic was free. So I don't think freeing magic
Mm.
in Arlon is gonna.
No, I'm wondering if it's going to give us another character that's in Aderlon that will have a power that they don't have right now. That will be like, oh, that's how we get Dorian free. But yeah, I don't know. It's I know that like when the Valg were trying to take over Selena, there she was sort of like in this like mental space, sort of like how Dorian is. So I don't know if it's
Mhm.
possible for her to like go in there with him or for someone to go in there.
Yeah.
Sort of like in other books and stuff that we've read. If there was a way to like join him in his like mind space and then somehow lead him back out. But obviously that we would need to make it so that magic was available in Aderlon in order to even try that.
If
I think
magic
that's the first step.
if magic was released and Kale had magic, who do you think he would hate more, himself or Aelin?
Himself, hands down.
I think himself. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yeah. It would be so great. So
I also okay, to go back to the Kale and Aelin thing, I think they're gonna be friends again. Cause
ugh.
well no, because Nesrin makes that comment about how they're like actively trying as hard as they can to not be friends. And which makes me think that eventually they're gonna be friends. And I just want them to be friends. I just want him to stop being the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know if he is capable of enough like growth to be like actual friends with her.
The only way to go is up.
Yeah, he can't get much worse other than like just being a Valg.
We'll see.
He could start supporting the king.
That's true.
Man, oh
Uh,
god.
he's like, you know
Only
what? The King of
king.
Aderlon's got some great ideas about stuff.
Maybe
Hope he
he's
does.
right. Maybe I should go tell him about all the things us rebels are doing.
Hell no.
All right. Meanwhile, Duke Parrington details his experiment plans to Manon, in which he wishes to see the witches breed with the Valg. Do you think this experiment will work? Manon believes the Valg may know how to break the, I think I might pronounce this wrong, Crochan
He's
curse?
Persian. Yeah.
Crochan curse? What do you think?
Ew.
Big
Big ew, for sure.
Big ew.
Why did we bring him back? No one needed him or wanted him. I
Yeah.
also feel so bad for Caltaine when they like talk about how bruised she is. Like,
Yeah. What's going on there?
not good. I
Oh,
really hope the experiment doesn't work, but I think it's going to.
so on the one hand, I don't want it to not work because that would probably mean that the witches die, which would be sad. Um, on the other hand, I don't want it to work because then we're gonna have like weird, super powerful demon witch babies. And then like it'll just keep happening to more witches because then they're like, great, we found evil demon witch baby factories. Let's keep making them. It's all bad. I really want Grandma Blackbeak to die. Definitely like thinking happy thoughts about her death often. Yeah, it's
The
just
happy
gross.
death dance.
Yeah, it made me really sad when the Yellow Legs coven leader like went up to Manon and volunteered as tribute for the breeding program. It's like, this is awful. You're all so brainwashed. How do we help this?
We also really never really liked Urska Yellowlegs anyway, because she was the
Yeah.
one that hurt. Oh, what was her name? Kylie,
Mm. Oh,
or it was
Keely.
Kylie or Keely
Yeah.
the Wyvern. I can't remember, but that she plays dirty.
Yeah. No, she does. But I mean, it's not her. It's another group of Yellow Legs witches that are gonna sign up for the breeding program. And it's just sad. Like we see Menon like working through it, like thinking
Yeah.
back to what that Crochan witch said to her about like you've all been made to be as evil as you are.
Mhm.
But like we're getting there, but
Right.
it's hard to see these like awesome, powerful women just being like owned by the brainwashing powers of
Yeah.
the people that came before them.
I knew Manon wouldn't want to give up her coven, but I was still surprised that she still gave one up anyway. Because I knew that like her and the 13 was are like so against like following orders from the king when they're their own, they want to be like their own, thing. Not be controlled by the king or whatever. So this it's like her decision was really surprising to me.
Yeah, and I want to know why Duke Parrington was very specifically like, no, I want black beats. Like,
I
is there something
assumed
there, or is it just a power thing?
I assumed it was because it was decided that the Blackbeaks were like the most powerful. So they were just going for straight like power play.
Yeah, because Manon is the wing leader.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you guys
It's
catch on how witches were made?
yeah. Yeah, I think they said that. I don't know if it was in Assassin's Blade or Heir of Fire. We found out that the witches were offspring from the Valg, basically raping fairies, which was sad.
Yeah. No crossover theories whatsoever.
Certainly no crossover. Definitely not.
There's no crossover about the Valgar from a different world that they're using portals to bring over. Doesn't ring any bells at all.
Definitely not.
Not
Definitely
at all.
no princes of hell that I could see doing that. Certainly no.
Or witches? Yeah, no. Nah.
Mm-mm. Um,
Couldn't be. Next
no,
question.
I'm just here waiting for Manon to figure out her life and murder Duke Parrington and save Cal.
Yeah.
That's all I want from that entire plot line right now.
And I think we're getting there. Like I really do see it. Like the 13 keep having those moments with Menon where they're like trying not to, basically commit mutiny. Like Asterin basically does, which is why
Yeah.
Menon decides to bump her down to third. But they all kind of in their own way are like, hey, we'd be cool if you didn't listen to grandma.
Hmm.
So I think we're getting there, and I think that Alid, is that how you pronounce her name? Do we
Yeah.
think Alid? I think that she's going to be an instrumental piece of breaking Menon out of the funk that she's been in. But yeah, it's
Also,
tough.
is she gonna be like part Cochrane? Is it Cochrane? How do you say it? Like
Oh, Crochan.
Oh,
Crochan? Is she gonna be part Crochan and like help Manon figure out that Crochan witches aren't all terrible?
I
she
don't
is
know.
part witch something. We just don't know which clan.
Yeah,
Oh, because
Menon.
Manon tasted her blood, like this girl.
Yeah, Menon knows what her background is, but we don't know yet. So I'm not sure where she came from
Yeah, I
necessarily.
don't even think Ellie knows.
No.
Also, are we supposed to know who she is vaguely? Because I know she's from Terracin, but I don't know if she's one of the girls from Terracin that Aelin knows. And
She
has
is.
like made vague references to being like, I don't know if she's
She
alive.
she
Yeah,
was mentioned in I think Air of Fire or previously. She's Marion's daughter.
that's what
And
I thought.
Marion was Yeah, like the mother, her
Yeah,
Aylin's mother is like, I don't know, some lady in wait. I can't remember
Like
the
lady servant.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she basically Marion is the one that helped Alien escape when she was young. And I remember her last words was like, "Tell Elite I love her," or something like that. So that's
yeah.
her.
Okay,
She was one of the
so
missing children of Terracin.
yeah, and the one that Aylin's always like, she probably hates me because her mom died to save me, and I haven't done anything
Yes.
with my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We found another member of the Avengers Squad. Yeah, I kind of remembered the name, but I couldn't exactly remember if that was her. But then in one of the last chapters we read, when she was remembering her uncle taking over her dad's title, and then like Menon asks about her mom, and she's like, I'm not going to think about that grief right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she was Marion's daughter.
Yeah, yeah. Nope, that's the same lead.
Mm.
Yeah, I like her a lot. Um, I
Ooh,
hope that she
before we
becomes
get to
super
the new
powerful.
characters,
Yeah.
I'll ask this one question. Um, uh, Aelin is worried Adian would be disappointed, angry, and perhaps see her as a monster. How do you think Adian and Alien's reunion will go? Because the rescue happened very quickly. They never really got a moment just to like talk and catch up. So how do you think that will go?
Super well.
He's
Yeah.
so good. He's so like when she like takes out those guards, he's like, "Damn, girl, look
Yeah.
at you!"
He's already hyped. He's hyped up.
I loved his rescue scene, by the way. Like, so badass on so many levels. And yeah, like because I don't think that he really knows. Does he know that she's an assassin? Did Kale tell him that? I don't think so.
I
No,
don't know. I don't think
I,
so.
it seemed like he didn't.
Because
yeah,
he knows her as Aelin, he doesn't know Selena.
yeah. I couldn't remember if Kale had like linked the whole like your queen is the king's champion
I
thing.
think he did.
I don't. I'm gonna have to remember once
Someone's
Adian
gotta
like
fact
wakes
check
up.
check us.
Yeah, I don't
Guys, if
remember.
you're watching.
Yeah,
It seemed
help.
like he didn't because he was real shocked at how murdery she was. In like a good way, not like shocked like Kale being like, "Oh, you're a monster, how dare you kill
Yeah.
people." Um, but I also thought Kale did was like, "Oh no, I know her. She's the champion. Don't murder me."
I can't remember, but yeah, either way, I mean, Adian was definitely super impressed. Even in his like post fever, I almost died state, he was like, damn. Like that moment where she was like approaching him with the hood up and then like they just locked eyes like before everything literally like exploded into flames. And I was just like, this is the moment that I wanted.
Like no one else does, and he's like, and then he's like, "Don't worry, I have my stool." And she finally gets to him, and he's like just there chained, but like dead bodies surrounding. So
He
bad.
murdered 3 people with one stool. It's like, yeah, Adian.
3 stool legs, 3 murders.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. No, there's no way he's gonna be at all upset. He's gonna be so happy to like have her back. And I think that it's badass. And like that is how Kale should feel. Like she was a girl who almost died, who got taken in by the assassins and made something of herself. Do we love murder on a large scale? No, of course not. But like it's just like Lysandra. Like she had no choices and she's capable and awesome and does things for herself.
They just should have worn the flower. Like Aelin approached the guards and was like, "Tell your folks if they don't want to me to stab a stool through their eye, to give me a sign."
No, that was great. I mean, time and time again, we see that like, yes, Aelin has the ability to kill anyone she wants, but she only kills the people that she has to or who deserve it.
Yeah. I think it's
Yep.
just it's still instilled in her that worry that the people that she loves or will care to love will see her as this monster. Like she went kind
Oh
of through
yeah.
the same thing with Sam, and that's why she hasn't told him like her past yet. And
She
and
said
then we
that in
see that in Rowan, but then Rowan did accept her. That was nice.
Did you hear her say that in present tense?
I did.
What's
I did.
that?
No, nothing.
What did I say?
It wasn't anything.
Or was it?
I meant learn with that scene with Sam.
Sure you did.
Whatever,
We're
guys.
we're just yanking your chain. Sam's alive.
I'm definitely alive.
Sam's super alive, Elena. Get pumped.
No, I am still on the
Well,
boat that Sam is dead.
Sam's
Mentioned it a lot.
dead. So dead. Super missing eyes. Can't even tell what his face looked like before this all happened. Definitely dead.
Oh my god. Guys, stop. Alright, moving on. Let's go back to the new characters. We have Nezrin.
Yeah. Let's definitely change the
Levine.
topic.
Yeah, please. Eventually.
I'm back on the Sam's alive train.
No, guys, he's dead. Stop. You're making it hurt even more.
Sorry, what was the question you were going to ask, Jamie?
What are your thoughts on the new characters? We have Nezrin, the city. Oh, I meant guard. City guard. Who had a previous relationship, very casual relationship with Kale.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about her?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I really like her.
I love her. She's an immigrant. She's also like a woman that has made a spot in the world for herself and is working hard. You know, she's part of the city guard, which had to have been difficult to do, and is also part of the rebellion. So like she's got her priorities straight. I love that she just like had a casual fling with Kale and was like, this is fine. But then like we kind of find out that she definitely had feelings for him, but like realized he was too dense to reciprocate, so didn't even bother saying anything. And I was like, I love this woman.
The way I read it was that she didn't really have any interest pursuing the relationship, because when I was like reading his chapter, he noticed like he was always the one to reach out to her for any fun business.
Brooks with a quote. There is a one scene where she's like, I liked you. And that's all she did.
Maybe that was the scene I skimmed over.
I'm gonna find it.
I don't remember if I highlighted it. It definitely existed though.
Do you think they'll end up together?
I wouldn't be mad if they did. I mean, I think she deserves better because no one deserves Kale, but I feel like
that's
improves
fair.
himself, works on his own perspective on life. I think it could work out. I mean, I still think Manon beating him into submission would be kind of fun, but if he beats himself into submission and makes himself okay, I'd be. It could be cute.
Yeah, I think in in the most realistic sense, I think that it makes way more sense for Kale to end up with someone like Nezrin, who theoretically doesn't have magic, although that could change. I just think that if he's so bigoted against Aelin, there's almost no way he's going to be with Menon. Super immortal, hundreds of
real woman.
Like, I don't think Kale has the ability to do that.
You don't think Kale would be into her being like, time to drink your blood and use it to power me.
I'll be your blood bag.
Yeah, like, come on, Kale, let's go for a ride on my wyvern. Like, yeah, he'd be totally chill with that.
Also, I think Abraxas would just hate Kale on sight.
Yeah.
He's a good character.
Yeah.
It's, whoever he ends up with, she's gonna change his world.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope that it's Dorian.
Whoever it may be. Or he might end up alone, because does he deserve anyone?
Not right now. Not right now, he doesn't. The quote that made me, I mean, this is how I'm taking it, that she had feelings for him. He says, you actually admit to liking me. And she said, did last summer not tell you enough?
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Was it last summer? Was that when Elena and Kale were on a break?
Well, so I think that Selena's only been gone for a few months because I think that from her becoming the King's champion, or I think from um, Crown of Midnight to now, it's only been like 8 months or something. And Kale definitely says that it was before Selena because he says that basically he had a fling with Nezrin, trying to like find himself, and then went on the pilgrimage to Endovier to get Selena.
And
Oh, okay, yeah,
so
that's right. I remember that part.
Wait, Elena, what was that?
oh, he ghosted her in the process of going to end of year.
Yes, that's right, he ghosted her.
Yes, he
Um,
was like, "Peace out, friends with benefits. I'm gonna go get this lady from Endovier for Dorian, and then just kidding, she's beautiful."
if he was hooking up with her to find himself, Bud is still looking. Like Bud is still on the search.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love Nezrin. I'm excited about her.
We wanna see more of her.
Oh, definitely.
Alright, next we have Elide. What do you guys think of her? Thumbs
Also
up.
10 out of 10.
Little worried. I will
Mm.
say, like, just a little, like, in the back of my mind, worried because she's very much like, I am going to ditch here and never look back, never go to Terracin. I don't want anything to do with that. Just totally cut ties, like, because I have a terrible life. Which, like, makes sense. Like, understand why she would have no loyalties to anything that's currently going on in her life. But so I like her a lot. I think she's a really cool character. I think there's a lot of opportunity for her to do good things, but I also think there's a small chance she could be like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that I see this going is that Menon is going to use a lead, and not like in a bad way. I think it's going to be like, hey, how about instead of leaving, we kill everyone? Like, maybe not that crazy, but like I think Menon is going to realize that a lead is someone that she can maybe not right off the bat team up with, but realize that she shouldn't let her out of her sight and she needs to like keep her and utilize her in some way. So I think they're going to strike up some sort of bargain, either for Menon to like use her to get information from the Duke, like as like a spy, or
Mm.
like, hey, you're a witch. Let's use those powers you definitely got, and like take her under her wing or take her under Abraxas's wing. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
could see that. I could see that.
yeah, I love a
And
lead. And like,
also, I think Elite could also help humanize Manon a little bit more.
oh,
Because if she's
yes.
just on that path, it's a little I feel like she's taken a step back a little bit.
Yeah. And Abraxas really likes her, and I trust Abraxas 100%.
He's a good judge of character.
Yeah. He's like, look, she's hurt and has been chained. She is like me. Let us free her.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. A likely option. And I hope that's what happens. I'm just a little bit sus of the one line that was like, I'm gonna peace out, never look back, don't give a shit about Terracin, don't give a shit about anyone there.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually
Yeah.
does she know about Aelin yet?
I don't think so. I think
No.
she's super cut off from the world. And also she can't read, so unless someone had told her.
Oh, yeah.
She makes a comment about Aelin, thinking back to Aelin, and she calls her something like the wildfire queen that could have been. So she definitely thinks that Aelin is dead.
I feel like there's still more to learn about her.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I hope my
Yep.
girl learns how to read in an interesting way with fun phrases.
me too.
Like if a really nice guy put together like a hooked on phonics book for her,
Mhm.
that'd
Yeah,
be cute.
yeah, that would be really cute. Like customized about himself.
Maybe. We're really good at coming up with ideas.
For sure.
Yeah. So creative.
All right, and last we have is Evangeline.
I don't know if she's really gonna play a huge role. I don't have a good sense of like how big her character is going to be in the plot, but I love that she definitely showed us that Lysandra is like very human, has all of the best like moral pointings, like, and I think that she could be like a nice companion character for Lysandra. I don't dislike her.
I didn't think she was gonna play a big part in the plot until right now. Like this moment, I'm now like,
Really?
Jamie's like, everybody give me your thoughts on Evangeline before she backstabs everyone.
Honestly, I was gonna be like, yeah, Brooke, like, I don't think she'll play a big part on this either.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I will say that I liked that she stood up for Lysandra because Lysandra wasn't even gonna say anything at all. We
yeah.
like throw this at Aelin, like, hey, she's actually really cool. Like, she helped save me. She gave me these scars, but like, was to save my life.
We don't have a child in the Avengers yet.
Is that your theory, Elena?
Well, yeah, she's gonna be in the Avengers. Like if she becomes important to the plot, there's no way she's not part of the Avengers because
He's the Spider-Man.
part of the Avengers now.
She's Robin to Lysandra's Batman.
Oh my god, what if she's like Sam's little sister or something? Oh no, Sam's mom died pretty early. So probably not Sam's sister.
Definitely not Sam's sister. Well, I mean, like, could be like a half sibling that maybe he didn't know about.
Yeah, we don't know anything about his father.
Because I feel like there would have to be something special about her for Lysandra. Like, I mean, maybe not, but it seems like there could be some special reason. Because, like, I feel like there are a lot of girls that are set up for fate.
I feel like if Lysandra knew that she had a connection to Sam, that she would have told Aelin. With how how important Sam was to her, I think she would have been like, hey, I need you to know this. But it'll be interesting when Sam comes back to see if like they have a relationship.
Listeners, Jamie is cackling to herself in the background.
Jamie's like, if I laugh really hard and cover my face, they won't be able to see how right they are.
No, you guys are wrong. Stop pushing it. I told you so many times, he's dead.
The funniest outcome of this will be if Sam is actually dead and inside Jamie's just like they're getting themselves all excited
If we get to the last book and he's alive, I will admit that I was wrong.
That would be
I'm
fun,
like
you haven't read it.
7%
sure.
No, I haven't read the last book. Sure did. Oh.
Redemption arc?
What's that?
Is Arabin gonna have a redemption arc too?
I can't confirm.
Because he's dead.
I don't know. I didn't read the last book.
Can't redeem dead people.
Alive by the last book.
I'd be so bummed.
All right. Do you guys have any other thoughts or theories that you want to share that we didn't talk about?
I don't know. I know I've said to you guys, like, I love this book, and I can't tell yet if I like it more than Air of Fire, because I really loved Air of Fire. But, what?
I was gonna say, you really hyped up this book. You were like, this book is so great, so good. And I expected it to be, like, good, like happy. And so far, the first 22 chapters are, like, the happiest thing is saving Adian, which happens at the very end. The first, 15 chapters are bummers.
Oh, no. At least the first 22 chapters of this book are extremely depressing and just anxiety-inducing and awful. But the reason that I love this is because Air of Fire was, like, her figuring out who she is, and Queen of Shadows is, like, she knows who she is, and she is owning it. And I just love that. I love that even while, like, shitty things are happening and people are being awful to her and, like, you know, Dorian might die and I'm worried about what Arabin's going to do, I have full faith in her. Like, this is the first time where I've really felt like she is fully capable. I know she can do it. And I'm just excited to see the badassery that is going to happen in this book. And, like, that's already happened. Like, her saving Adian was so cool. And I want more of that.
For sure. What else do you want? What else do you guys want?
I need a certain Hawk to show up again, because he hasn't.
I know. What's he doing this whole time?
Just flying,
Just-
pecking things.
oh my goodness. Wouldn't it be funny if we found out that he's been in Aderlon this whole time, just like chilling on like rooftop, just like hanging out?
Just
In his bird form.
I'm just like waiting for the scene where Aelin does get taken prisoner and he just like flies through the window and like unlocks it.
As long as the window's open.
It's the window.
It's the window that gets him.
That'd be really funny.
Would you guys be upset if he didn't show up at all?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
see it happening. I feel like there's enough going on that I'd be okay if he doesn't come to the next book, but Brooke's having
I know. He is mentioned, which I like. Like she's obviously missing him.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love when she's like missing him and then she's like, girl, you've got work to do. You need to stop missing that boy back home. And I'm like, yeah, but thanks for thinking of him. It made me happy.
Yeah. I love those
Um,
little moments.
I don't need him to be in Aderlon at all, but I would like a chapter or two throughout this book, hopefully one coming soon, that will just be like in Rowan's POV, where we can find out what he's doing and also hear that he is missing Aelin, which I would like to know about.
It would be nice. Yeah.
Jamie made a stop on chapter 22 because 23 starts with Rowan.
It,
Was
it
that
doesn't.
loud? Sorry, guys.
You just do.
It
That
doesn't.
was that was a cackle.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, he's not in this book. Sorry, guys.
No!
That search I did, I didn't confirm if he actually showed up.
But Jamie, I miss him.
I should
Yeah,
use
we
the
all miss
and just
him.
search Sam and see what comes up.
That sounds dangerous.
That is dangerous. Do not do that. I would advise you not to do
Don't
that.
do it, Elena.
Yeah,
You might
don't do
find
that.
things.
Don't look at fan art. Don't look up in the book that we're reading.
Elena, you know what that means, right? Do you know what that means, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Also talking about him in present tense, so
Yes, yeah. He's definitely not in the South hiding out with like another group of assassins that we met that's really nice and would protect him.
Oh
back
boy.
the series
Oh
itself.
boy. Thank you all for joining us today. See you next time where we'll read 23 to 44.
Oh yay, we have a stopping point? That's exciting. I was gonna ask that.
44. 22 more chapters, everybody.
See you next time.
All at once.
Bye, guys.
Bye.